So nasty flock together. That's what I've always noticed, right? And I'm not someone that's gonna try to, I guess, shame someone if they per se have nasty friends, but I have to be honest. It makes me question your judgment, right? If you are around toxic and disgusting people, there's a good chance you might be toxic and disgusting if you just don't mind being around it, right? Like, I don't care if we family. If you have a certain like type of level of nastiness, I have to distance myself. And if I notice that you're around a bunch of toxic energy and nastiness and you're okay with it, I'm going to start reevaluating, should I be around you? And that just is what it is. I'm too old to be dealing with certain things, bro. Way too old. If I got to do the old man, man, I'll holler at you and keep it pushing. Hey, we got people that we are still cool with. We see them in the street, we'll shake their hand. Hey, man, what's up? How you doing? How you been, man? How's the family? All right, man, good to see you. You ain't going to hang out with them. You don't want them at your house. You might not even want them to have your address. That's the type of energy. I protect my energy at all costs, right? At all costs. I think that's why some people might even misinterpret me going back and forth with certain people. I don't actually care. That's the entertainment thing. That's not me being stressed or upset or angry. Nah, I'm just trolling, having fun. Right? It's never me actually giving a damn, right? To where my feelings is hurt, I'm emotionally invested. Nah, never, fam. With these losers, no, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Right? Because I protect my energy at all costs. And if I was to get emotionally invested, I'll go crazy. Dealing with a bunch of these nasties, that's how you lose. When you think off of emotion, that's how they get you. That's why they'll start doing a bunch of bull crap, sitting there little goons after me, try to get clips, all of that. And because I don't react off emotion, but more so off of entertainment and just laughing, they can never affect me. And that hurts them. It hurts their heart when I laugh. That caller was about to cry when I started laughing, had the nerve to say, "Excuse me." And I'm like, no. I can laugh. Keep talking. I can laugh all I want. Like, what? Who the hell? Like, I already knew where this was going in the beginning. Right? But certain people that they think they take things too seriously. They take things way too seriously. And they want to be around toxic energy. You're choosing to ignore the truth and be around toxic and nasty energy. So that must mean that you like that energy because you are toxic and nasty. When you were young, this is for guys and girls. There was probably a guy you liked if you was a girl or whatever you into. And there was probably a girl you liked, right? And maybe they rejected you because they were more attracted to something that was the bad boy or the bad girl, right? Or something of that nature. And they rejected you and went off to be with that. When you look at that situation through time, I'm willing to guarantee, like almost 99% of the time, you actually benefited from them not choosing you and choosing to be with toxic because toxic energy is what attracted them. So they're more than likely toxic. Do you know how many girls from my school back from like when I was young try to slide in my DMs, try to hit me up? Hey man, how you doing? You looking real sexy, beast. Word. How many kids you got now? Like 7. Click. I'm gonna let you talk to my homie Tone. Who's Tone? Dow Tone. Click. Don't go through your life wilding out with all these dudes that was toxic. You toxic too. And now you trying to bring your toxic energy and your leftover baggage from your other toxic energy relationship to me. Kiss my ass. And that goes both ways. I'm sure there's a lot of Tyrones and Pookies that probably try to slide in your ladies' DMs after they tried to play you and chasing these Instagram models. And when they gave them the Cardi B treatment, now they want to slide back with you. Don't let them slide. Nah, fam. Back then you didn't want me. Now I'm hot. You gonna want me? I'm a hot commodity in these streets, brother. I said that since I was a teenager. I'm 30-year-old fine. I mean, when I'm in my 30s and when I'm in my 30s and they in their 30s, oh, 30s and up, baby. They love me. Just any adult woman thinks I'm attractive out here in these streets. Nah, that's sure. Well, yeah, fam, you got to think about that stuff, man. Protect your energy. Sometimes, like, God is blessing you by removing you from a situation. Maybe there was a job that you wanted and you weren't able to get it. Maybe that job was toxic as hell, and that was a blessing for you not to get that job. Maybe you were supposed to be in a relationship or you wanted to, and that person rejected you. It didn't work out. Maybe God knew that that wasn't the best relationship for you. That goes on for like a lot of things. I always say that, like, man, if I had a YouTube channel years ago, like when YouTube first started, I can guarantee I would have probably been bigger than Jake Paul. I would have been bigger than Logan, all of that shit. Because me and my friends were crazy. If we had a camera in it, we would have been went viral every day. But then that probably would have went horribly wrong. All right. Because I wouldn't have been prepared for it. And I would have made a bunch of mistakes and done a bunch of dumb stuff like Jake Paul and Logan Paul. Except it would have probably been more hood. And then I would have probably went down a horrible slope where a bunch of bad things could have happened to me. I could be FouseyTube out here yelling and going crazy and spitting on teenagers. Yo, Fousey's wild. Fousey's nasty as hell. He lucky we don't cover that. Fam, I did a video saying people were a little too hasty and too quick to get on him. I was wrong. That nigga bucket. I do think that it's kind of a marketing scheme so he could get more money from Kick or whatever. My whole overall point is it was a blessing for me not to be a YouTuber at that young age. It's a blessing for me not to blow up and be a famous rapper because the industry is disgusting and I would never want to be in the industry. It is what it is. I'd rather be independent when it comes to my art, right? Me as a rapper and a singer, right? So imagine what if I got what I wanted when I was a teenager and I got signed and I was still a slave to this contract, still to this day. It'd have been crazy. It'd have been crazy. But sometimes the Lord is going to only give you what you prepared for. And if you're not prepared for it, it's a blessing. That means that you have your time to work on yourself, get right. And then when it comes, you will be prepared for it. That's just the way I think, man. That's just the way I think. Because think about it. Look at me now. I'm blessed, bro. I'm blessed. You're talking to someone who's a kid from the Bronx, was in group homes, then went to being homeless in the streets. And everything I'm saying is before I even hit the age of 16. In the streets. Literally. With all my homeless teenager friends. Doing a bunch of stupid stuff. Right? Running around wild. Couch to couch. Right? All this craziness. To end up being someone who not only has an apartment, but has the potential at a career in entertainment. Like how I told my grandma I wanted to do when I was a little kid. When I said that, I was like, I want to be an entertainer. In fact, my exact words was, I want to be Johnny Cage. That's crazy. I said that to my grandma. I remember me and my cousin that's like 5 days apart from me. We was all trying to kiss up to my grandma. When we was like kids, I'm talking like 5 years old or something like that. And I remember she's like, I'm going to be a nurse and I'm going to take care of you. And I was like, man, I'm going to be Johnny Cage. I'm going to be the baddest martial arts fighter in entertainment. And then you're going to watch my movies, grandma, watch. That's what I said. And then look, years after all the crazy shit I went through, for me to be an entertainer who happens to be a badass martial artist as well, fam, I'm blessed. I got the best supporters in the game. Period. Nobody can argue that with me. Like, there's not a day that goes by that I'm not like in just realization of how lucky I am. I mean, a lot of my friends are either in jail or they're no longer here on earth, right? And to be able to come on here and say my opinion and have a group of people that respect me enough to listen, and even if they disagree with me, still be able to listen and hear me out, man, I'm blessed. Shout outs to Jesus, man. Real talk. Shout outs to Jesus. Real talk. I don't want to get too biblical. I know some people get turned off by that shit, man, but I'm not hiding my love for the Lord. I'm not going to sit there and try to force feed and convert you, though. You know what I mean? Do you? We gonna find out when we get to the pearly gates, fam, and there's a chance that we all was praying to the same person. We didn't even know it. It is what it is, man. Find your peace. I don't force nobody to do nothing or believe nothing. I don't want to make you guys uncomfortable about like talking about the Lord so crazy though, but I don't want to hide it. When I feel good, I feel good, bro. When I feel good, I feel good. You know what I mean? And I feel blessed. Say you're doubly blessed because you know you're blessed. Man, like I'm 100% blessed. I'm aware of what could have been. Things could have went really bad for me. Could have went really bad, but I lucked out. I lucked out, man. Shit, what if I was on YouTube screaming to nobody? What if I was doing streams and no one ever found me? And then I quit and then went back to doing stupid stuff and just making a mess out of my life, not taking things seriously. Everybody's life has trajectories and a whole bunch of things that led to the bit. That's why I don't take these guys seriously. They'll do a lot of nasty stuff, and then I'll just whatever. I'll roast them whenever it's a topic, but I don't take any of these people seriously enough to be bothered to that degree because I know how blessed I am, and I know what can come from wrath or me trying to get revenge and all this other bull crap. It leads down a long dark road of just sadness. Look at anyone who ever like say I roast somebody, right? And they take it personal and they all butthurt and crying. Like they usually go down a dark road of just doing disgusting things just to try to get my attention. And then I end up ignoring them. And then they end up begging people, well, help me. I'm doing bad in my life. You doing bad in your life because you doing bad in your life. You didn't try to get right. Right? You didn't try to fix your stuff. You didn't realize that you were the problem. I analyzed my life. I know that I was the problem in everything that went wrong. I didn't make the right decisions and I wasn't right. You know what I mean? And I'm thinking of like, even when I was a kid, it is what I'm speaking on. Right. But then once I started learning things and developing my intelligence, and I learned like there was more to the world than just the Bronx. Do you know that for a long period of time in my life, I didn't leave the Bronx? For a long period of time when I was a kid, the first time I went to Manhattan, it was astonishing to me. In the Bronx at that time period, 90s and early 2000s, if you listen to rock music, skateboard, or watch anime, they would jump you every day, all day. Right. So the first time I actually traveled outside the Bronx and went to like Manhattan and I seen kids skateboarding and they reading manga. I'm like, what the fuck? What's happening here? It was like astonishing to me. I was like what? I was mad at my older brother for not telling me this place existed. I brought all my friends. They're yo, there's a place we can go where we won't have to fight when we trying to read a manga. Shit was crazy, right? So like my view was definitely not what it is now on a lot of things. If I didn't make a dedication to myself to expand my mind and pretty much take that red pill and explore what's out there in the world, man, I'll probably be woke. I'll be woke as fuck. I'll be out here protesting and doing a whole bunch of shit that I used to do. I don't even believe in protesting anymore. That's crazy. If my old self heard me say that right now, I think if you don't like it, don't support it. The fuck? You gonna go and tell other people what to do with their money? That's crazy. That sounds crazy. I guess I'm more of a capitalist now because I believe in businesses being able to do what the business wants to do as long as it's not in violation or anything unethical or something of that nature. But if they want to sell a product for however much they want to sell it, whatever. Because I know as me with my broke ass, when I go to stores and restaurants, if something is too expensive, I leave. You don't have to support that business. You know what I mean? Like, go find an alternative. There's always going to be an alternative, bro. That's the way it works. It's even on YouTube. Like, if there's someone disgusting and they get a bunch of followers and they have a bunch of people subscribing and all that stuff, and they're a big YouTuber, but they're disgusting, you like, damn, man, I really want to know about this one true crime case, or I really want to talk about this, or I really want to hear this, but this person is nasty. Maybe even the numbers changed them, right? Or they're just nasty. There is an alternative if you dig, right? If you actually take the time to look, there's always going to be an alternative that's not that, right? What you despise. You just got to look. Fam, like I was saying the same thing about podcasting or live streaming up until recently, to where I decided, okay, if you can't find a podcast or live stream that you vibe with, that's on the type of time that you on Beast Boy, then you need to do it and create one your damn self. And within the last few weeks or months, man, what I've been able to accomplish, thanks to the Fame Gang and my supporters on this one channel that is dedicated to live streaming and podcasting, man, it's amazing. And it's because I didn't just sit there and just go, there's nothing I could do. I was like, nigga, I'm going to create it. I'm going to create it. F it. Or if you're not a creator, find it. It might take some work. You might have to literally search it. You might have to actually search it and type words. I know. It's crazy, right? These days, a lot of people don't want to do that. But yeah, you can find it. I know. I do the same thing with music. I've been that way my whole life. I don't really like what's most popular. I've never been that guy, right? In fact, sometimes I'm a little bit stubborn to where I'll run away from what's popular, like so much so that I will refuse to watch something. Everyone likes it. I ain't watching it. I waited until like season 5 to watch Game of Thrones and then binge watch the hell out of it. Like, damn, why you ain't telling me this is so good? Everybody's like, we told you it was good. You just didn't want to watch it because everyone was watching it. So I'm like, counterculture sometimes. And I think that has allowed me to be able to see things and view things in a different way, to where I will look for the underground. I'm always going to look for the underground rapper. I'm always going to look for the underground singer. Bam, underground R&B is the ish. And it's sad because sometimes it's not sustainable because it's so underground. If these people don't go big or eventually build a fan base or make certain decisions for their art, like their music career, they end up retiring or switching. There's no, I mean, people probably used to love my music, but are like, we don't know what happened to that guy. He just disappeared one day. They didn't know that I switched into YouTube. And then once I did come back to music, I changed my music name and those other. But that comes from me on my part, got to take responsibility, being inconsistent with my music. Right. And that's what happens if you're not reaching a certain level of success or being able to obtain certain things in order for you to continue to invest your time into that. So with music, when I'm searching for stuff, I literally look through. I'm going to go through the archive. YouTube actually has been brilliant with its suggestions sometimes, right? Like I'll be like listening to music and then they'll just play a song. And I'm like, damn, this song is fire. Who's this? And it'll be like someone that no one heard of. I'm like, oh shit. So sometimes YouTube will suggest something, right? If you're just listening to enough music, it'll get used to what you like as a sound and then suggest a playlist for you, right? Spotify does that too as well. There's a lot of ways. You got to just make the effort and you can always find something for you, whether it's not just music. It could be a TV show. You're like, damn, man, I wish there was a good TV show right now. There's good TV shows. You just got to search. It might be an old one that you've never seen before. I didn't watch Prison Break when it came on TV. I binge watched the hell out of it after the fact and loved it so much. I was like, I hate the ending. And then found out that they released a Canadian movie to where it explains a bunch of stuff that the American version didn't explain, right? But I wouldn't have known that if I didn't just take the time to search through stuff like, what's this prison show? What's this? You know what I mean? Things. And there's kids that do that. Right. But a lot of us, like, we're stuck in our old ways sometimes. But there's a new generation of people to where all the time my little brother come up to me and start talking to me about stuff. And I'm like, how the hell you know about that? Oh, I binge watched it. My little brother had the nerve to tell me that the Avatar was from his time. Me and my older brother had to correct him, like, shut up. Avatar is not from your time, brother. That's from our time. That's from our childhood. And then you went and watched it on Netflix or something like that. And he couldn't even lie, like, yeah. No, you can't go and binge watch and say that's from your childhood. What's wrong with you? But yeah, the fact that he made the effort to do it, that's what counts. That's what counts. See what you guys are saying? You said drop the line? What you mean? The call in line? Yeah, if anybody else wants to call in, I'm not covering anything else, but I'm just talking at this point. Apology? Oh, to who? Who are you apologizing to? No, I ain't apologizing to nobody. But yeah, overall, what I was saying is that you gotta just experiment and explore. You can always find an alternative. Like some people, they stay with certain things just because they feel like there's nothing else. Like, nigga, just if you look, right? Then, like, and also don't just judge things based off of numbers. That's what the sheep do. The sheep will say, "Oh, I'm only gonna listen to whoever's the most popular rapper. Oh, this YouTuber got the most subscribers, so they must be right." That's what sheep do. There's people that I watch that got less than 100 subs, bro. And I watch them faithfully because they are actually putting out good content. And then eventually they're going to blow up. That usually happens. I've seen it happen so many times on YouTube. I'll start fucking with a creator and be like, yeah, their content is good as hell. And then like a year later, they one of the biggest fucking content creators ever. That shit happens all the time. Shit, one person I could think off the top that happened with was Pegasus. I was watching his shit from way before he had all these. I think he's like over 1 million subs right now, or something of that nature. I was watching his shit way before that. And shout outs to him because when I first started YouTube, he gave me some great advice too on Twitter about timing and placement, like story structure shit. Good stuff. There's a few people. Like when I first started YouTube, a few creators actually gave me some great advice. So shout outs to them. But those are people that I watched before they were famous, or before they became big creators. Because I like to look at the underground shit. If somebody wanted to like ask me, what's your goal, BX? Do you want to be like a big YouTuber or something? Nah. I actually want to be, and the best way I can say it, and it don't sound humble though. Sound like saying it. But I want to be like the underground king. I want to be in the streets with you guys. That's what I want. I want to be down here with you guys. And I don't care about blowing up. I don't care about being famous. As long as I'm like the best me and I'm not disgusting, fam, I want to rock with y'all. I feel like these bigger creators, they get big and they don't like talk to their supporters. They're not really in the chats. They're not vibing with the people. I don't care about being mainstream. Fuck mainstream. I'm independent. Even for my music. I don't care about the numbers, bro. I don't.